Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is our fourth video of PhD from Abroad series. In this video, I will be talking about how to write an impressive statement of purpose, that is SOP. To make this video, I have searched a lot of universities so that I can give you the best way to write an SOP. I have been through the website of MIT, Stanford, Princeton, Northeastern, Northwestern universities and so many other universities so that I can give you a great idea about how an ideal SOP looks like. And before this video, I have already made a lot of videos on what kind of documents you require and how to make an impressive CV and the standardized test required for an abroad PhD. So if you have not seen those videos, I have put the link of those videos in the description box, so you may go and check out that, and please do watch them. After analyzing all those websites, I have made an exactly good template for SOP, and that I will share on my social media account. So if you have not followed me on social media, so I have given the links above, so you may go to that social media account and follow me, and also you can get the template of the SOP. Before that, if you are new to my channel, do give a subscribe to the channel, and I also request you to please share this video as much as possible, because once I will reach 1000 subscribers, I will be able to make a community tab in this section in my YouTube channel, and using the community tab, I can give you more information without posting a video. So let's get started with the SOP. Guys, I have the picture of the SOP I have written, the template SOP I have written for you, and using this picture I will explain you how to write an SOP and what are the do's and don'ts in the SOP in the later section as well. So you may please go to my Facebook account, that is Facebook/Monu Mishra page, and you can download this. The first thing I would like to say is the SOP should be like 600 to 800 words maximum. Don't stretch it too much and don't write too less information. 600 to 800 or say 500 to 800 is a good amount to write a SOP. And in this SOP you have to write about a lot of things. That is your motivation, from where you get the motivation of studying a particular subject, and why do you want to join the particular university at a particular course, and what are the experience and skill set you have, so that these skills make you an ideal candidate for the position. So according to me, or according to a lot of websites I have reviewed, and standard SOP should be up to maximum 5 paragraphs. So in the first part, as you can see, the first paragraph should be your introduction plus motivation. Why? But you have to introduce your subject, what are you studying, and what was your motivation behind studying the particular subject. So in this case, I have written this statement of purpose for admission in environmental sciences. Using this, I am first introducing the subject, then I am telling why I have studied this subject, what was the motivation, and what problem I am going to solve, and then in this section, I have also posed the research question. Then finally, I am giving the motivation for my PhD joining, because this is the research question that I want to answer, and because of this, I want to join PhD in your institute. You can write it around 150 to 200 words. That's more than enough, and it is important part. In the second paragraph, you have to tell what is your education and what are the courses you have studied. Like you have done bachelor's in commerce or environmental science or physics or chemistry or anything. So you have to tell, like, because of my interest, that is from the childhood you are interested in environmental sciences. So because of my interest, I studied BSc in this and a master's in this. You do not have to give too much explanation, but write it short, like I have done my bachelor's in this course from this university. Do not forget to mention the name of a university and course. And after that, you also need to talk about the courses you have studied, because in environmental sciences there are a lot of courses like water pollution, soil pollution, air pollution, climate change, sustainable development, many other things. So you have to mention the relevant courses you have studied. That will tell the examiners that you have the theoretical knowledge of that particular topic in which you are applying the PhD. And do not forget to mention that I was inspired for PhD. That you have to mention that I was inspired for PhD in my master itself, or for that you can use like my senior were doing PhD and I was motivated from that. I attended many lectures from renowned professors or renowned scientists that encouraged me to do PhD. You have to write a few lines about your inspiration, from where you got your inspiration for PhD. Okay, so everything I have mentioned in this so that you can write it in a decent way. After that, your internships. Many times when you enroll in BSc or MSc, you perform some small summer internships. It could be like 2 months or few weeks or 3 months. In bachelor itself, people do a lot of internship, and master itself, you do a lot of internships. Do not confuse this internship with your dissertation, like the last semester of your master or last year of master. Do not confuse in between. It is just the couple of trainings you have attended, or you have the summer research internship of 2 months at some place. So you need to mention about your internships. Like before my dissertation, I also did my internship, because that displays that you have interested in science and technology, you are interested in research. So if you are interested in research, you will start your doing research from the early stages, and that internship give you a push, like this guy was interested in research and development from very long. So it is a plus point. Like internship part, you have to mention the professor, your research topic, and the institute, from which institute and with which professor you have done your internship and on which topic. And do mention about the research you conducted, your responsibilities, the skill you got, and the outcome of this thing. And if you have acquired any paper out of that, please do mention your paper, because if from an internship you get a paper, that means you are very skillful person and you are very obedient person that is able to do research. So let me give you one example. My student, like the guy came to me for an internship, I won't name it, but he knows who is. So he came for a 2-month internship, and I give him a very small project which I was doing in a PhD. I just gave a small part of it, and due to that part he published 2 papers, and those papers were published in a very good journal with an impact factor over 5. And because of that, he got a lot of further internships from abroad as well. So you can see, if you have early stage research, so it will tell people, convey the message that you are good in research, and they will accept you with a more ease rather than the other student. Many times you have not done internship, so if you have done any training like some winter schools or summer school or anything else, so please do mention all of that as well. Like in the second paragraph itself, you can also mention your master thesis. Now I can tell you one thing here. If you have done masters and then you are doing some research, then you can put master thesis part in second paragraph itself. But if you have not done any further research, just did your master and did nothing, then you can make a different paragraph. At least you can dedicate paragraph 3 for your master thing. So master thesis is one of the most, trust me, it is the most important part of your SOP. So because that's how professor is going to judge you. The professor not going to look for your motivation or education of things. The most of the thing they like to look is your experience, because experience is what they want. They don't want a new guy with no experience to come in their lab and just learn, because they want someone who is already learned and come to the lab and start working. They don't want to waste time. Okay, so basically experience matter a lot, so you have to give an extra emphasis on your experience. In experience, if you have back to your master thesis, so please explain your master thesis in a decent 1 paragraph. So everything I have mentioned, you have to tell about the project, professor, place, the work you have done, and summary about some results and the skills. Do not forget to mention about your skills you have acquired. So someone say you have learned Python, Fortran, MATLAB, or any instrumentation, UV visible, FTIR, XRD, XPS. So anything you have learned in your master thesis, do not forget to mention that, because the professor will get to know, yeah, this has some machine experience as well. Or if you have any computational or mathematical experience, if you know some languages, something like that, do mention it in your skill set as well. So guys, coming back to the third paragraph, that third paragraph can be your present activities. Suppose you have done your masters and now doing some kind of research at some university or some laboratory. So you can make a third paragraph dedicated to that work. That is your current research activities. Like you can tell, at present I'm doing project assistantship at IIT Delhi or at Seoul National University or at somewhere place, any place you are doing, and you have to talk about your research again. Your research, your project, your professor, and what is your role, what are you learned. So everything you need to mention. If you have extra experience, make it in the third paragraph. If you do not have any extra experience, put your master thesis in an elongated form in the third paragraph. The fourth paragraph is also most important, because in this paragraph you need to convince that you are the ideal candidate for this position. And how you will convince? Like someone needs a pen. You have seen the movie Wolf of the Wall Street, how to convince. Like if you have a pen, you have to sell it. So you need to make sure you convince that person, you do not have a pen, you need a pen, I have the pen, so you need to buy it from me. So that's how you're gonna convince the professor. Like you need this kind of person who has this sum of skill set, and I have this kind of skill set, so we are an ideal match and we can club together. So in this part, make sure this part can be written on the basis of your research about university. So make sure whenever you are writing an SOP for a certain university, say Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, any universities, you need to first do your research about that department. You go onto the department page, research about what is your interest, what is your skills, and what professors are working on those particular field. So you have to see, just like Tinder, you have to match, so that you have to go and see what professors are working on which kind of projects, and make sure you have the same skills. And then you have to write this paragraph. In this paragraph you have to write about, first of all, your experience. I have this skills and this thing, and then you have to provide enough details so that professor can understand. Like I have these skills and Professor XYZ is working on this field which is relevant to my work, and I can work with Professor X. You have to name at least 2 to 3 professors. You have to name, yes, make sure, go to their website, check their research check their research activities, and then write it in your SOP. Like I am interested in working with Professor XXX who is working on this field, blah blah blah, and also I can also work with Professor this who is working on this, and I can also work with Professor this who is working on this certain field. So in that, for that you have to make sure you do adequate research on the university department professor's profile, so that you can put yourself, I have this experience, that person is also working this field, and so that I can join their lab because I'm the potential candidate for that. So make sure to convince them you are the ideal candidate. You have to put the name of professor, you have to do some research on the department's pupil, so that you can convince them. And last but not the least is the paragraph 5, where you tell what you expect from the PhD. Like after doing in the PhD at this department, I expect to learn this or the blah blah blah, and what are your future goals or ambitions. It should be ended in a positive manner, and it should tell about your excitement, like you are ambitious, you are inspired, and you expect a lot from the department. Here you have to present a good image about yourself and as well as department, that this PhD is going to be very beneficial for me as well as the department, because I will learn this thing and then this will lead me in a good position in the future. So that is how the 5 paragraph SOP is good and going to land you for a successful PhD application. So guys, you will make a lot of mistakes while writing your SOP, because I have told everything, but still you will make a couple of mistakes. So here I am also going to tell you about some do's and don'ts that you need to take care of while writing your SOP. So first go for the do. The first do I will tell you is you have to write everything in segments. Do not try to write everything at once, like sit for 3 hours and write an SOP. No, SOP take around 5 to 6 days to write an SOP. Just generate your ideas in your mind and write it down on a paper. So make sure you write in segments, because if you write in segments, it is going to be much more worthy and it will have more ideas. In a monotonous way, like writing in a single thing, you will be forget to write a lot of things that are necessary. Avoid writing too much autobiography. Do not write too much about your childhood. Third point, be specific and to the point. Another thing is, before applying to university, make sure you go to the department, do your research. Fifth point is, you have to write email to the professors. The fifth point is, write email to the professors before applying. So if professor is impressed by you, it gives you a nod, then trust me, your admission is very, very easy. Another point is, make sure your SOP has a good English and it does not have any typological or spelling mistakes. Another point I would like to say is, it should be limited within the given range. If the limit is given in 700 words, make sure you do not write 701. Another point, make sure your motivation is clearly reflected in your SOP. It should be written in a positive note, giving a positive vibes. So it should reflect your positivity, your inspiration, and your motivation. Last and the most important do is, whenever you write, make sure another person reads it and then gives you a feedback and then improvise. So basically proofread it. So guys, after the do's, let's come to the don'ts, and don'ts include monotonous. Do not write a monotonous. Change your language a bit, just give it like a good flow and good English. So do not write it a monotonous. Do not do self-bragging. Do not brag. You do not need to sell yourself, because the person who is judging your application receives over hundreds of applications, hundreds of SOPs. So he will know how much thing you are writing is true and how much your writing is false. So make sure you are not doing too much of bragging. Grammar mistakes. Avoid grammar mistakes and typological things. Do not write it too lengthy. That's why formatting is your best friend. Make sure it is written in a good format. Another thing is beating the bush. Do not do unnecessary information. Make sure the information is relevant and to the point. And last but not least, do not complicate it. Do not use very technical words that is, specialized to a specific field. Write it in a, journal term, so that the person who is not even from a background can understand it. So that's all about writing a good SOP. So guys, that's all about how you write an SOP. The things I have discussed, or the template I was discussing in my mobile phone, I have put it in my social media account. On Facebook you can find it, and if you have not followed me on social media, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. The links is given here. And also do share this video with your friends, because until I get a 1000 subscriber, I won't be able to get a community tab. Once I will get a community tab, I can share you good information about new openings or something like that, which I found worthy to share with you. So I'll share it there. You do not have to follow on social media then. But perhaps if you like the content, give a thumbs up, share this video, and ask your friend to subscribe the channel. And if you have any comments or suggestion on that, so this is the comment section. You can go and comment on that. I will be able to answer you very soon. And that's all for today. In the next video, I'll be talking about how to write an email. Yeah, that email to a professor for a PhD, because many times we do not know how to write an email, and we write something and there are hundreds of mail like that. The professor sees and say, no, he doesn't even read this. So how to write an email that is worthy, and I think that professor will read it. So it's going to be the next video. So if you like the content, give it a subscribe. Let's meet in the next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Thank you.